Welcome to 30 Minutes. I'm your host, Parrish Murphy. I have a question for you. What do you get when you cross a grocery store with a pharmacy? You get a food pharmacy. What is that, you ask? Well, we went down to the Harris Health Facility in Acres Homes to find out. This is Dr. Mitra. She's the medical director for the Acres Home Harris Health Clinic. She's been here for 21 years.
We have a very high percentage of diabetic patients who are uncontrolled. And what the food pharmacy does is that introduces you to how to incorporate the healthier food and healthier food habits and how to cook healthier food in your everyday life. They come here and they get to see what is available, what they can incorporate, and also how to cook them so that it'll be palatable to their tongue.
Tell me why you guys started this. I mean, obviously, it's a beneficial thing to the community because you guys are going to communities that are primarily food deserts. There's not a lot of healthy options. We're in Acres Home today, and I know that this at one point in time was a really dry food desert when it came to healthy alternatives. What made you guys start that?
So this is a great Harris Health initiative to start a food pharmacy program in Acres Home. We are the second. And as you already said, the fresh food was not readily available. Thankfully, we have one more on top of our food pharmacy in this area. But the fresh food and how to cook fresh food really helps diabetic patients to lower their A1C and changing the way they look at food, how to incorporate food which are not very high in caloric index, but also makes you full and gives you the real nutrition.
Education is a big part of this, obviously. How do you break bad habits? Because we're in the habit of eating bad. We have millions of dollars in advertising that are geared to make us eat bad. How do you change a bad habit?
Needs a little time. It needs several different approaches to change our habit, which we have been doing it since our birth. What we got fed as child, and then how we can change it as an adult needs a lot of different approaches. Like one of them is the doctors telling them, this is what you should be focusing on. The second thing is that we have a lot of help as far as a dietitian, nutritionist, and even the food pharmacy people themselves teaching how to read food labels and also how to cook food from the scratch.
I used to talk bad about the people that read labels in grocery stores. Just get out of the way, and now I'm that guy. Like, excuse me, pardon me, and this got fructose corn syrup in it.
So many carbohydrates.
I'm that guy now.
Yeah.
So tell me the benefits that you've seen. The program's been around 5 years. Tell me the benefits that you guys have seen, because right now, basically, you guys are giving people practical application. You're teaching them basically how to live.
Yes, the real joy comes when the patient comes and tells me, look, I'm eating healthier now and my A1C is 1 point less. That actually translates to so many less complications.
That's huge. 1 point is huge.
Yes. Less complication as far as eye, kidneys, or even heart and stroke. So that is the real joy, I would say. Our culinary program, they do the cooking classes and teach patients how to make food from scratch, how to cut up the vegetables, what spices to put, and then those are real simple but tasty.
That helps.
Yeah, we smell the smell and we're like, what they're cooking, So, but it really helps. It really helps. A lot of people focus on meat and potato. They don't know how to cook other vegetables with nutrition and fiber incorporated into the vegetable. So that's what it helps.
Let's use diabetes as an example. The doctor diagnoses you, then you meet someone like Natalie Williams. Natalie is a nurse patient educator. So as a nurse here in this program at Harris Health, what exactly do you do when you get a hold of patients?
Okay, so when a patient comes to me, they're usually first just diagnosed with maybe diabetes or hypertension. They just found out that they have that. and they're coming to me with anxiety, sometimes anger, fear. So they're grieving. So I have to work through that process when I first see them, the grieving. And then it's mainly because they're realizing they have to make a change.
Mhm.
And with this change, they may have to also buy food that they can't afford.
Mhm.
So this is real. They're realizing that now there's a change that needs to be made, and the change is going to be difficult. So they may have food insecurities, and so this is why I'm so glad that we have the food pharmacy here.
Why are people so uneducated about diabetes, especially in our community?
Sometimes it's from generation to generation, and when mom or dad would just tell them, "Oh well, all you need to do is maybe drink some vinegar," and that's going to get it. That's going to
That's the
take
cure all be all. Drink some vinegar.
and that's
My favorite is apple cider vinegar.
Mhm.
They swear that'll raise you from the dead.
Yes, drink some vinegar, and that's going to take care of your diabetes. That's going to take care of your hypertension. It's just lack of knowledge.
Do you kind of help them along as far as their journey? Obviously, there are a lot of great things in place here with the program, but what
Yeah.
else do you do to just kind of help them along? Do you kind of
Okay.
stick around periodically?
Well, I usually see them about every. It depends upon how well they're grasping the information,
Mhm.
either where their A1C is or where their blood pressure level is. That will determine how often I will see them.
Mhm.
And those that are really in need, like for example, that A1C, like it's 15, I would probably see that person in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And then if the other ones, if I see a person that has an A1C of 7, I'll probably see them out a month or so.
Mhm.
But not only will it just be me, because I'm not the sole person in this loop of people,
Mhm.
I will also refer them to the nutrition that can help them get a better understanding of the food and how that works with their chronic illness. I can also refer them to behavior health, which will help them to kind of work through the mental thoughts that they may have about diabetes, about themselves, about um, just being diagnosed with it.
If I have diabetes, just give me a brief rundown of what I should do. Once diagnosed, I walked in here and Natalie gave me the mama look like, look, you skating uphill, you swimming upstream. What do you do? To give me
Okay.
some things that people who might not even be familiar with it or just got diagnosed, give me just a couple of things that they can do.
First, I would want to know, like I said before, what do you know about diabetes?
Mhm.
Okay. Once you tell me what you know about diabetes, then I'll tell you what diabetes is. Most people just say, well, they eat too much sweets or whatever, and this is the reason why they have diabetes. But it's actually because the body is not producing enough insulin.
And why is that?
That's because it could be familiar, where it's a family history. It
And
can
it
be
just
just
kicked
what,
in.
yes.
Mm.
So, or it could be just as we age, and certain things will go low, and so that insulin may be a little deficient, either not work as it used to work.
Mhm.
Okay, which is not efficient as it used to work. So it's basically the insulin in the body that is not working like it used to work in type 2 diabetes. So that should, so I try to drill that into them so they'll know that it will take sometime medications, exercise, and the diet. Not just the food, but it's a combination of those three.
Mhm.
So I would tell you to do that: exercise, medication, and the diet.
This is a great program. When they initially told me about it, I just said, "What?" Just all the things that they do, from just letting you know what you have, diagnosing you, to not only treating you. You're just not giving anybody a shot in the butt and some
Mm-mm.
pills.
No.
You're actually taking them through a lifestyle of how to change their lifestyle. Because so many times we talk about, oh, it's a lifestyle change, and diabetes, all you got to do is just
Yeah,
eat right.
and some
Okay,
people
well,
don't
how do you
know.
eat right?
Yeah.
You know, if you don't know, you don't know.
Right, right.
You know, and that's one of the things that I'm so impressed with
Yeah.
about this program here at Harris
Yeah.
Health.
And I usually break down the terms to them in simple language to where they can understand. Like you just said, lifestyle. What does that mean?
How you living?
Yeah.
You know, all the grease you eating, all the fried chicken. So, as a specialist, because I just think I think that's what you are. You're a specialist when it comes to this stuff. On just a day-to-day basis, you know, how do you live? You know, how should you live? You know, with if you have diabetes.
Yeah, you should see food as what we say medication. Food is the pharmacy. So live like you've always lived, but in moderation in what you take in, in moderation in what you do. So I would say, according to the American Diabetes Association, we do say to exercise at least 5 days a week, 30 minutes. That should balance your blood sugars along with whatever medication that your doctor has you on. So I would say live according to that, and also watch your diet.
Can you ever get off medication if you're diagnosed with diabetes?
It depends. That's a loaded question.
I'm a loaded dude. I stay loaded.
Because you can decrease your medication, can be decreased depending upon what your A1C level. So we look at that to kind of guide us. So if your A1C level gets, like if it was 15 and then now it's 9, of course we may not have the same medications. You know, you may not be on the same medication that you were on when you were at 15 A1C.
Right.
So you are decreasing in medications, okay? And then you're at 9. So your medications are not the same, okay? It may not be as much. Now, getting off of it completely.
Yeah,
remember,
can I get to a point? Okay, so
remember,
I was 15, I got to 9, now I'm at 6.5 or 7, 6.5.
Remember what I said. The body is not producing enough insulin, or either it's resistant, okay? So that may not change. Your numbers are changing because you're on medications. Now, what's going on internally may not change. And then again, it might change, but then it may change again. So you still have to be aware of what your A1C is. So as far as ever getting off of medication completely, I've seen it one time. But then, you know, this person I've seen it one time.
Who was that, Jesus?
They were on insulin, and I've seen them get off. Okay, but the body is systematic. So sometimes the insulin will kick in. Sometimes it starts to function like it's supposed to function, not be as resistant as it was before, to where now it can process the sugars better. But this is not for everybody. This is not everybody. You still must check. I say you still must check your A1C. If your A1C is not at 7 or below and you have diabetes, then you still must consult with your provider, your doctor. So don't just get off your medications.
Don't get off of it. Okay.
Don't stop, you know, what you were doing to maintain that that healthy level of blood sugars. You still need to do that because internally, remember,
you don't know what your body's
body
doing.
is not producing enough insulin. So as soon as you get off your medications,
it's going to start doing it again. You know, even no matter what your A1C level is, just the functionality of your body is going to keep doing what it's been doing. Your body just won't be at DEFCON 4. You know, it's going to be a little lower. All right. Iris, tell me what you do here.
So I am one of the community health workers. When the patients have been referred by the doctor, have spoken to the nurse educator, they come and see me to schedule their first appointment. And we're basically the liaison between the practitioner and all the other resources that are available to them with the program that we provide.
Okay, great. Now, what do you do step by step when they transfer the patients to you?
So we greet the patient, we determine what their qualification is, and explain the program in detail, who they're going to speak to, the education that they're going to receive, the produce that they're receiving from us, where it's coming from. So it's full disclosure what the patients are receiving, the education that they're getting, and they get to speak to us one-on-one. So most of their contact is with us, and so that they feel more comfortable and more open speaking with us versus their practitioners. One of the great things about our program is that a patient is not just, once they complete the program, are left to their own devices. They're always able to come back, seek advice, seek any guidance. We always help provide resources outside in the community where they're able to continue on with their care, and are always empowered as to how they're going to improve their health. So they're never left to their own devices to be left to fail, right? We always want to see a success. We want to see our patients happy, and want to support them throughout the program.
When we come back, we'll visit with a culinary specialist and talk to a patient who is successfully going through the program. We're back in the food pharmacy in Acres Homes, and as I said earlier, there's a culinary component to the program. Okay, now we are in the kitchen, and it's amazing that you guys are so proactive that once someone gets food, you actually teach them how to cook it. Tell me how that process goes.
Yeah, so in the food pharmacy program, our patients are also eligible to be part of our culinary medicine classes, where they can apply the food that they are receiving from the program, such as fresh vegetables, fresh produce, like the cabbage, tomatoes, and onions that we have here, and use them to make delicious, healthy vegetables, or healthy meals that can help lower their blood sugars as well.
How exactly do you teach them how to cook? Because a lot of these people come from different backgrounds. They come from, in this area, they come from Southern backgrounds. They can be from Texas, Louisiana. Those are two different types of cooking with different spices. What do you guys incorporate in their food, or in your culinary classes to just kind of teach them, you might not need all that Tony Chachere.
Right. Yeah. So in the cooking classes, so we have set recipes that include a variety of meals like pastas, soups, stews that again include fresh vegetables, fresh meats like turkey, chicken, and maybe some other meats that are included as well. And the dietitian and the community health worker will have some cooking skills, just kind of talk about spices, and also provide education as well while we're doing the hands-on cooking with the patients, to provide education on how we can make cooking helpful for lowering the blood sugars and lowering any other conditions that might be helpful for them to know.
Tell me what you do when someone comes in and they say, you know what, my A1C is extremely high and I really don't know how to cook. I'm programmed to cook how I've been raised. What do you tell them?
So besides giving them some information about which ones are the carbohydrates and giving them examples of non-starchy vegetables, then we move on to like different methods of cooking that are healthier for them. Usually will be more like grilling, boiling, and baking, and increasing our non-starchy vegetables.
Should you eliminate carbohydrates if you're a diabetic?
No, we don't recommend to completely eliminate.
Why not? Because they drive your sugar level up. Tell me why.
Yes. Well, we think of it as a very person-centered approach. So not one diet is not going to be for everyone. Mm-hmm. So we always, do an assessment on all of the conditions that this individual has, and we try to accommodate, like the nutrition counseling to their preferences. But we always want them to have some carbohydrates, especially if they are on insulin and medications. We want them to have at least 3 meals a day, but they have to have at least 2 to 4 carbohydrates per meal.
Why do you need carbohydrates?
Carbohydrates are just the fuel that gives our brains and our body energy. So we all need the, the good quality carbohydrates, which are going to be the fruits, the whole grains, all of those are great for our body.
This is Troy Hicks. He's been a diabetic for many years and is part of the food pharmacy program. Mr. Hicks, tell me how this program has benefited you personally.
When I first came here, my A1C was like 15. I was out of control. And was having a lot of complications. I couldn't control my diabetes. But the doctor recommended Miss Williams and that I should come and take the class and offer me food, teach me how to prepare meals, portions. I've dropped it down to, I think, by like 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I feel pretty good. I lost some weight. Sometimes I cheat. It's not often, but it really helped me.
Now, how did your diabetes get so out of control? 15 is crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know what to eat, how to eat, and just doing things, just eating and snacking. I wasn't tested. I wasn't up under doctor's care.
When did you start realizing that your diabetes was getting bad?
I really didn't know. I just, my eyesight got, started bothering me. Feeling bad, urinating a lot, really wasn't taking care of myself, wasn't taking my medicine, wasn't eating right.
So what was the turning point? What made you decide that, you know what, I need to do something about this?
I didn't want to die.
That'll do it.
I didn't want to die. I wanted to be more active. Basically just didn't want to die. Didn't want to be obese. So I guess I had been a diabetic for 35 years.
Oh, so you've been doing this a while.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lasted this long, and plan on living a longer life, a healthier life.
How are you going to live your life once you get out of the program?
They say old habits are hard to break, and this is an old habit that I hope that will continue. And from shopping, grocery shopping to going to a restaurant, or just life in general, and spreading what I've learned to somebody else, whether it be a older person or a younger person, because it's in me now, I believe.
Each one teach one.
Yep. Each one teach one.
That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Well, best of luck to you, Mr. Hicks. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I thank you for your story too. There are a lot of people out there, that are struggling with diabetes, and whether they look like they're not or they do, it's a struggle and it's a lifestyle change. And, they don't call it the Food and Drug Administration for nothing. It's hard. Like I know, try to do without sugar for a week. Watch what happens. You eat a whole box of vanilla wafers.
I'm good, and I appreciate you guys for this program, whoever is responsible. I think it's a good program, and I would like to also say this: the staff, man, they're tremendous, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I come, I always got a smile, try to help you. I've never seen them with a bad day. I don't know if it's the attitude or the patience or what, but man, they always.
I appreciate the fact that they have made a concerted effort to try to help individual people. Like, they get it. I know it's a food desert in a lot of different spots. And if it's not around you, you're not going to eat it. I get it. We have to change our way of thinking and how we look at different things. And I think moderation is the key. I think you can eat a couple of cookies every now and then. I just don't think you can eat a dozen. You can eat a piece of cake. I don't think you should eat half the cake. That education is so important when it comes to just, helping our community, because there are no Krogers in our neighborhood. There are no high-end grocery stores in our neighborhood. So, and it makes a difference. Trust me, the suburb stores are totally different than the stores that are in the neighborhoods, in the underserved neighborhoods. So it's a wonderful thing that these people put this program together. This is the first program I've seen that goes beyond regular doctor-patient care. The program teaches you what food to get and how to cook it so you can eat to live. I'd like to say thank you to all the great people at Harris Health for giving us great information and access to their food pharmacy program. And also thanks to Mr. Troy Hicks. I wish you and everyone in the program great success. That's going to do it for this episode of 30 Minutes. As always, thank you for watching. I know you have other alternatives in your viewing pleasure. I am truly honored that you chose us here at 30 Minutes. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our content on our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up in the very near future. Until next time, I'm your host, Parrish Murphy, and I will see you next time.